Hey everybody, welcome back to Doom Productions, and this is a little different, but we wanted to talk about something that has nothing to do with filmmaking, but at the same time has everything to do with filmmaking and being a more well-rounded filmmaker.
These are three things that we believe are very important, not just for filmmaking, but just to help make you a more well-rounded individual. Three things that you won't learn in film school. They won't necessarily teach you. You won't necessarily learn all these in college necessarily. This is just something that's really important for you to have and know and be aware of in life in general. Things that you can do. So the first thing that we suggest that you should be doing or should have is a hobby. It's really important for people to have hobbies. It's a way to decompress. It's a way for people to escape. It's a way for people to just do work without actually doing work. For me, that is playing music. I'm a huge fan of music. Yes, I make music for my movies, but I play a couple different instruments, and when I need just to relax after editing, or decompress after shooting, or prepare for shooting, it's really nice just to be able to pick up the guitar or drumsticks and be able to just play and jam and not think about the world or anything, and just fall in love with just this other thing that isn't my passion, but it's something I really, really enjoy doing. Ethan, what's one of your hobbies?
Yeah, I mean, I do photography a lot. Film photography has become something in the last couple of years I've really started to pick up on, and I've incorporated that into another hobby, which is hiking, and together I get to go out in all these cool places and just take great pictures of the beautiful area that we live. So that's just kind of been something I absolutely love doing. And that feeds back into filmmaking though, because I'm working with cameras, and so things I learned there can apply to filmmaking, but at the same time, again, like I can separate them in my head as two different things.
And the last thing I'll say on hobbies is it's very important, because when you're a no-budget filmmaker, usually you have work or you have school, or you have something going else on. You're not making money from movies, so you're making money doing something else all day. Then you come home, and because filmmaking is your passion, it's what you love most in the world, you are making movies. So you're spending all day at work, then at movies, then you're probably just going right off to bed because you've spent the whole day, and it's, there's only 24 hours in a day. You go to sleep and then you wake up and you repeat it. That's not really healthy to do that all the time. So it's really good to have something, again, just to break out of that routine, something just to relax. That's not goal-oriented of I have to make money or I have to make a movie. There's another goal, which is just to relax or hang out and have fun. And that's what hobbies can do. The second thing that we recommend all of you do is study things aside from filmmaking. A big question that comes up in the filmmaking community all the time is, should I go to film school or should I not go to film school? A better question to ask yourself is, should I go to college or should I not go to college? Regardless if you go to college or not, don't just study filmmaking, because you're not going to learn anything. I mean, yes, you can study history through filmmaking. You can study literature and other kind of things through filmmaking, but it's really important just to study other topics that don't have anything to do with filmmaking necessarily. For me, I studied foreign languages. I studied French, Spanish, Khmer. I became really interested in studying foreign languages and how people communicate. And it's just something that has nothing to do with filmmaking, but I really enjoy, and it makes me, I sound pretentious, it makes me a smarter individual knowing this stuff. It makes me a more well-rounded person when I have that education in something that's not just movies, although I would love that too. But it's a great way to just, learn more about the world that we live in. And the thing with foreign languages is you're learning all about communication, and that's what movies are, and that's how that helps me when I make my movies. So that's kind of how studying other subjects aside from just filmmaking can help you out. Ethan, what subject have you studied that has helped you out in filmmaking?
Yeah, going in and studying like literature, that's been huge for me. And that's not just not script writing or anything like that, but like books. And that's been great because there's so many different ways that books are put together, and the framework that's used to tell a story is kind of what draws me to that. And so in just taking time to study that and learn about what it's like to tell a story, again, that feeds back into my filmmaking, makes me a better filmmaker, because again, it's communication. It's different viewpoints and angles that I get to tell stories through. So not just taking a Hollywood approach or a standard movie approach, but starting to take a step back and just take approaches of all kinds of ways and make that my focus for telling stories. So that's just been one of my favorite things to do while I was in college, was literature studies.
And you go to college to grow and enhance your view of the world and your perspective of everything. And again, if you're just studying movies, it's a pretty narrow view. So study something that you're interested, whether it be psychology, philosophy, theology, literature, music, whatever you're into, study that. And it'll help grow you in your perspective, and it'll make you a better filmmaker.
And the third thing that is just the most important is be present. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Don't just be focusing constantly on your movies or your work or what's going on in your head, but just look at, like, be present with your friends. If you guys are hanging out, watch what they're doing. Look at how your friends interact. If you're going out to a coffee shop and you're just, studying or doing whatever, look at how the people around you are behaving. To draw inspiration, let yourself just experience life, and that's gonna, again, feed into the craft that you're doing, and it's gonna, again, make you more well-rounded and let you appreciate things in a way that's beyond just thinking as a filmmaker.
If all you do is study movies and watch movies and talk about movies and listen to other filmmakers, when it comes time to finally make your movie, all you're going to be doing is copying other movies, and you're not going to have anything original to say. And your voice and your perspective, that is the most valuable thing that you have as a filmmaker. That's your point of view. That's your voice. It's how you shoot, how you write, how you perform, how you show the world, the kind of world you create, the kind of message you want to send. That's your perspective and your point of view. And if you don't allow yourself the freedom to develop that voice and point of view, you're stifling yourself creatively. You got to come into making movies with that point of view and that perspective before you really kind of take off. Because again, if you're just copying other movies, you don't have very much to say. I mean, will you make some great stuff technically? Yeah, sure, you absolutely can. But it won't be as rich and as kind of meaningful as something, whereas if you take inspiration from your life, take inspiration from the people around you, from your neighborhood, from your life, from your stories, from your friends' stories, from your family stories. All those kind of things make up who you are and your perspective. And so use that perspective, because that's the most valuable asset you have as a filmmaker.
So that's your guys' homework this week. Get out there, just enjoy whatever it is you want to enjoy. Don't feel like the pressure to make a movie or film. Just get out there, enjoy life, and take whatever you gain from that back into your filmmaking as a new, refreshing way for you to make movies. But if you're new here, we make movies, so stick around. We have some stuff that we're working on that we're excited for this year. Subscribe for more, and we'll see you guys in the next video.